If you think back to middle or high school, we all had friends that we thought were rich. They always seemed to be one of the cool kids, and all of them had certain things that everyone else wished they had. The biggest house, the nicest clothes, and the best toys always set them apart. So here are some things that meant you were one of the rich kids during the 1970s. Having a bike in the 1970s was one thing, but if you had an iconic chopper bike with a banana seat, you were the envy of the neighborhood. These bikes had extended frames and low-slung seats, and they represented the ultimate in 1970s coolness. Rich kids didn't just ride these bikes, they made a statement as they cruised around the block. They were attention-grabbing because they came in a variety of vibrant colors, and the high-rise handlebars set them apart from all the other regular bikes. A chopper was a source of envy for other kids, and it was another thing that set rich kids apart in the 1970s. When it comes to 70s fashion, it's impossible to overlook the moon boots. These funky, futuristic boots were designed to resemble astronaut footwear. Rich kids loved them not just for their outlandish appearance, but because they kept their feet warm during those chilly winters. These were the type of boots you might wear on a ski trip, making them a must-have for families who enjoyed winter getaways. Moon boots signaled that you were not just fashionable, but also up for some lavish adventures. Recollection Road is proud to partner with Legacybox. Get early access to the best deal of the year. Watch until the end of this video to see why Legacybox is the perfect gift this holiday season. And then visit legacybox.com/recollection for an incredible 65% off. Imagine having not one, but several phones scattered throughout your house. For rich kids in the 1970s, this was reality. They didn't just have the classic rotary phone in the kitchen. Some had telephones in the living room and bedrooms as well. For a kid, having a private phone in the bedroom signaled you lived a life of luxury that other kids just dreamt about. These kids could actually have private conversations behind a closed door instead of standing in the busy kitchen. The 1970s was a turning point for gaming, and rich kids were at the forefront of this revolution. The Pong home console was the very first home video game system, and it allowed kids to play a simplified version of table tennis in the comfort of their own homes. It was an absolute game changer and a source of endless entertainment, especially if you were one of the friends invited over to play. The rich kids were always happy to show off their cutting-edge technology to friends, and it announced who was ahead of the curve in the world of technology and entertainment. Tiger Beat magazine, the teen idol publication of the 1970s, was a must-have for any rich kid. And they didn't just have a one-off magazine from the grocery store shelf. They had a full-year subscription. It was a monthly portal to the world of pop culture, filled with glossy photos of heartthrobs like Sean Cassidy and Leif Garrett. Having a subscription to Tiger Beat meant you knew all the up-and-coming teen sensations, popular fashion trends, and celebrity gossip. It was more than just a magazine. It was the closest thing to fame you could get while living in the suburbs of Middle America. In the 1970s, kitchen appliances were becoming more advanced, and the trash compactor was a prime example of how wealthy kids lived. Trash compactors made throwing away garbage fun, while at the same time reducing the need for frequent trips to take the garbage out. It was the mark of an efficient and modern kitchen, a space where many 1970s families gathered together. Having a trash compactor meant you had a sleek, high-tech kitchen that was ahead of its time. Grooming in the 70s was an art form, and one of the essential tools for any rich kid was to always have a goody super comb at the ready. Hairstyles in the 70s were taken very seriously, and this comb was their secret weapon. Its oversized, long teeth made it ideal for creating that signature 70s feathered hairstyle. So owning a super comb demonstrated your commitment to fashion and personal style. Simply by having that comb hanging out of your back pocket was a status symbol of a glamorous life. The release of Star Wars in 1977 was a cultural phenomenon, and rich kids were quick to embrace it. Owning the entire collection of Star Wars action figures, ships, and playsets wasn't just about being a fan, it was about being the envy of the neighborhood. These toys were scarce at first, so having them was a pretty big deal. The Star Wars toys brought the magic of the movies into our homes, and the rich kids were usually the first to get their hands on them. It wasn't just about owning the toys, it was about being able to relive the adventures of a galaxy far, far away. The ultimate in 1970s bedroom luxury was, of course, the waterbed, and rich kids everywhere couldn't get enough of the wavy bed early on. Waterbeds provided a unique and so-called relaxing sleeping experience, but more than anything, they added a touch of opulence to any bedroom. That was, of course, if you could afford one of them. Generally, waterbeds were very expensive, so it was unusual to see one outside of a parent's bedroom. So that is why it was such a big deal if a rich kid had one in their room. If you had a color TV in your bedroom during the 1970s, that meant you were one of the lucky ones. Black and white TVs were still very common, and color TVs were making their way into the living rooms of homes across the country. But having one in the bedroom was a status symbol. Can you imagine being able to watch your favorite shows in full color from the comfort of your own bed? This was the reality for some. And in addition to having multiple TVs in the house, some rich families even had a TV with a clicker that allowed them to change the channel without getting up, which was mind-blowing. Rich kids in the 1970s also embraced handheld electronic gadgets, and one of the most beloved was the Mattel electronic football game. This device allowed kids to simulate the excitement of a football game in electronic form. It was very simple, yet pretty addictive, providing hours of fun for those that could afford it. Rich kids always seem to have the latest and greatest in electronic entertainment. The Mattel electronic football game is just another example of our rich friends getting it first, which built up the excitement and made us want it even more. Finally, let's talk about the absolute biggest symbol of wealth and luxury in the 1970s, the in-ground swimming pool. Rich families with two-story houses and spacious backyards often had these, turning their homes into a private oasis for summer fun. Having an in-ground pool meant you always had a glorious suntan and could host the most exclusive pool parties for all of your friends. It was the ultimate status symbol that showcased affluence, and we all knew someone that was living that lifestyle. I mean, who wouldn't want a built-in paradise right in their backyard? Let me know in the comments if I missed anything, and make sure to sign up for the Recollection Road newsletter using the link in the description. Recollection Road and Legacybox both believe it's important to preserve the past. If you've been looking for that perfect gift, look no further than Legacybox. We all have a box of treasured home movies and photos tucked away somewhere, so why not bring them back to life like I did using Legacybox? Now we can relive those memories as a family every time we get together. The process is a simple and safe solution for converting your home movies and photos to thumb drive or the cloud. Just send in your Legacybox filled with old VHS and camcorder tapes, film reels, and pictures, and get back digital copies that can be easily enjoyed, shared, and kept organized. It's really that easy. Legacybox is trusted by over 1 million people, and it's all done right here in the USA. Give your loved ones the perfect gift this holiday season. Go to legacybox.com/recollection to get an exclusive 65% off. Take advantage of their best deal of the year and send in your memories when you're ready. Go to legacybox.com/recollection to save 65% while supplies last. If you enjoyed this video, consider watching the other videos in this series. While you're at it, hit subscribe and share Recollection Road with someone you know. As always, thank you so much for watching.